Hey guys, so you might already notice slightly different setup here because I'm not using my headset. As most of you know, today's my birthday. I just turned 19, and I got a brand new computer and 2 new monitors. And because of that, my headset can't connect to my new computer, so I wasn't able to use it for this video. I wanted to get it out today, and I couldn't use the headset, so I had to improvise with this microphone here. I did order an adapter that would hopefully connect me to it, but it'll take 2 days to arrive here. I didn't want to wait that long. Found out too late that it doesn't connect, so I decided to just improvise with this microphone. But you guys can tell me in the comments below if you actually like the setup more than the headset one. If you do, maybe I'll actually keep it. I kind of do prefer the headset one, but if most of you like the setup better, then I might keep it. That's fine. That's fine by me. If you guys like it, I'll keep it. But if not, I'll just try to see if I can get the headset to work. However, that does mean I get to wear this hat while I'm doing the presentation, because I wear the hat all the time at school. I still do it in the college I'm at, and when I'm doing the presentation, wear the hat too. It's just kind of a big part of my look at this point. That a lot of my friends know that I like wearing this hat. But anyway, so the slideshow here. So I graduated high school in June 2022, so just a couple months ago at the time of me making this video in September 23rd. And all seniors in the high school were required to make a senior presentation. First, we had to make a senior paper, and that had to be about some big thing in our life that really had a big impact on us. And then we had to make a senior presentation that was based off of our paper, and we have to then present it to the class, present it to our English. Not the entire senior class, that's their English class. And I made mine about Toontown. And I didn't just choose Toontown because I like Toontown, it's a fun game. No, there's multiple reasons why I chose it. This game had a very big impact on my life, and I really would not be who I am without it. So that's why I chose Toontown for my senior presentation. It could be, the requirements could be a slideshow, it could be a song, it could be a video, anything. But I chose a slideshow. I think it'll be the best way to get my thoughts through to everyone. And so some slides, as you can see here, have no text. Watch the video presentation. You guys are watching it right now, so it's fine, because I'll be able to actually tell you guys what the slides are saying with just pictures, or be able to tell you more in depth what exactly they're saying. And I'll change the TBA to the link to the video once it actually gets published. And some new slides were added since I presented to my English class in May, just a couple months ago, 2022. And there were just some slides where I thought, when I look back at it, I feel like I could have added those in. It would definitely be a lot better for the slideshow. So I added them in here, and I'll be talking more over here. And I will also leave a link to the slideshow in the description of this video, so that if you guys wanted to look at it for yourself, you guys can go ahead and look in description. You're not going to have editing privileges. I disabled that, but I suppose you could also just make a copy of it and edit for yourself, but at least the original will stay intact, so that's kind of all I really care about. So yeah, so for those of you who know me in real life, that I linked this video to on my social media pages, my name is Jake, and I'll be running you guys through this presentation. I am vastly different from the guy that you knew in high school. We do have our similarities. We are still physically the same person, for example, but I feel like this version of me when I'm in Toontown, I like this version of me a lot better. Not to say that the version of me when I'm in real life is a bad person, it's just that when I'm playing Toontown, I feel like I can truly be myself and freely express myself the way I want to, and that is truly the person I am, not the person that you guys see in real life. Toontown has just had that much of an impact on me that I just feel that comfortable in Toontown than I do in real life, and this is me, Jake, presenting it to you guys. My full name in the community is Jake Cheesy Marble, but you can just call me Jake, it's fine. And I'll move this part of my face cam down so you guys can see that's what the picture right there is supposed to be. Toons just squirting the cogs. I'll explain more of them in the slideshow. There will also be timestamps at the timeline at the bottom of the video, so you can skip around on certain sides if you want to, just to make your life easier, because this is a pretty long slideshow. So, but anyway, let's get to the slideshow. So, what is Toontown? As you know, I'm supposed to act like the people I'm presenting it to don't know what Toontown is. So if you're part of the Toontown community, you obviously know what Toontown is, but bear with me on some of these slides. So Toontown is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game, MMORPG, made by Disney, and it's family-friendly. So parents can play with their kids, they have a lot of fun with it. made for all ages. The classic characters such as Mickey, Donald, Minnie, they're kind of like the main characters of the town. They run it. Mickey is the mayor of Toontown. Even in Disney lore, Mickey is the mayor of Toontown, and the characters such as Goofy, Donald, Minnie, again, they help him run the town. And the town is inhabited by anthropomorphic animals called Toons, so that means that I am a furry. I am not ashamed to admit that. I accept that with open arms. I am a furry. I admitted it to my whole English class when I presented it to them. I am a furry, and anyone else who plays this game is in this community shouldn't be ashamed to admit that either. Okay? I'm a furry. I accept that, and I'm not going to try to reject that. I like to let people know. I'm not just going to run away announce that I'm a furry, but I'm a furry. That's who I am, and I live with it, and I'm glad I do. I'm glad I do. I feel like it's the trait that actually does define me pretty well. So the game was released on June 2nd, 2003, the same year I was born, just 3 months before I was born, actually. So, we're pretty much the same age. And it began development in 1998. So if you want to be technical, you could say Toontown is a 90s game, but, the game wasn't actually available to play in the 90s. So, maybe not. The original game shut down in September 2013 to put more focus on the Club Penguin, which you all know also shut down. I'll go into more details of that later. But yeah, and people cried over, people cried over its closure, including myself. There's videos out there of people crying. Smirky Pop, Charlie, there's even like this people in a meeting room who were talking about like there's people who are crying about this game closing, and it's kind of really sad, really. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure I did cry. It was a long time ago, but I'm sure I did cry. Now there are multiple servers with their own differences that are all run by fans completely for free. Most popular one is called Toontown Rewritten, or TTR for short, which came out in September 2014, exactly a year after the original game closed, and it will be the one out, and it is the one I'll be talking about in this presentation. And the link here leads to a forum on MMO Central Forums that was posted 5 days after the game closed, of one of the higher staff members who are still running the game. Posted that, telling people that we were making Rewritten and we're going to make it free for everyone to play. We're still high in development. It won't be released for a bit, but we're making it. So 5 days after the game closed, that post was made telling people that the game is going to come back. That's how long it took. It's incredible. Anyway, the overall gameplay summary. So Toons are meant to have fun. That is what it means to be a Toon. If you're not having fun, what's the point of being a Toon, right? Play minigames, socialize, throw parties, tell jokes to each other, stuff like that. But, however, there is a business corporation known as Cogs Inc. that want to turn it into a business that is devoid of silliness. The Toons have to fight back to keep the sound silly by destroying them with gags, and you'll find out more about that in a second. There is one server that actually turned the COGS, Cogs Inc. into an acronym, which stands for Coal, Oil, and Gas Syndicate. However, I don't believe that's universal. I think that's actually the only server that actually made it an acronym. All the other servers, I think they just call it COGS with capital letters incorporated. But Coal, Oil, and Gas Syndicate. Anyway, okay. So before I get into the overall mechanics of the game, I guess probably would make sense that you probably would see a commercial of it first before you actually get into the game, right? So this is a commercial from 2003. It's a short version of another commercial that came out. It was a little longer and it came out. I'm pretty sure this commercial actually played on TVs, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, it was in 2003. So wait, I'm pretty sure it actually was played on TVs back 20 years ago. But be aware, these commercials are pretty corny. They were made 20 years ago in 2003. So at the time, this was kind of the normal thing. So just be aware of that. And here's the video.
Ever wondered what it would be like to live life as a Toon? Well, here's your chance. Jump online and straight into Toontown, where the city limits are as wide as your imagination. Make your own Toon and play tons of games. Explore crazy new lands and help save Toontown from the evil cops. What are you waiting for? There's never been an online multiplayer interactive ever-changing Toon-themed game like this before. Toontown. Are you Toon enough?
Okay, now here's a video that I actually remember watching with my siblings in the family room. I don't remember what year it was, maybe 2008, maybe? I was 5, maybe? I don't remember. But my siblings and I were watching TV. All of a sudden, we see this commercial for Toontown. And we watched it, and there was a code at the end, and we replayed the video. We replayed the commercial to write down the code. and it was actually really cool. So I saw this video, and my siblings ended up watching this video too. I'm not sure if they'll remember it, but I remember distinctly my brother, me, my brother, and my sister were there watching the video and watching TV, and that commercial came up, and we replayed it to get the code. And at first, I actually thought it was a fever dream because I told my friends about it on Toontown, and they didn't know what I was talking about until eventually they showed it to me. It was like, "Is this the one you're talking about?" I was like, "Yes, this is the video." And so I'm glad I was right that it actually exists. It's not just a fever dream. Anyway, here's that video. And actually, yeah, I believe, yes. So the shirt that the code gave you in game is actually still used in some of the Toontown servers. I believe, for those of you who know what Toontown is, I believe it was that red shirt with the field office on the back of it. So it's still used. Yeah.
Get connected, logging on! Where we connect with the latest Disney games.
What's up, gamers? Today, we're gonna hang out with Ryan. How you doing, man? Good. Ryan is the game producer here at Toontown Online headquarters.
We heard that you are BFFs with a very popular Toontown resident.
Well, I don't want to brag, but Flippy and I, we're like that. Oops, I bragged.
And I heard that the Sellbots were up to something bad.
Sellbot stole so many Toon jokes, their boss gave them their own building, the Sellbot field office.
So how do we play?
Run into a field office and over to a cooler to fill up your water balloons.
Oh, it's on!
Throw them at cogs and watch them explode. Smaller cogs take 1 hit and drop jokes that you rescue, but the bigger cogs take 2 hits before they blow up.
Take that, cogs!
Once the big guys are busted, the exit opens and you have to make it through before time runs out.
That was awesome.
Yeah, thanks for the tour.
If you want to make your Toon look extra spiffy, there's a special code you can enter here to get an exclusive Sellbot t-shirt. But you have to find the code first.
Well, how do we find it?
Log on with your parents' permission to toontown.com and look on the field office.
After finding the code and getting my Toon his new shirt, I headed back to the Sellbot field office for another round. Nothing like a good water balloon to save the day.
We agree. You can look for us online, too. Sometimes we hang out in Toontown Central. If you see us, say hello, and maybe we can go take down a field office together. See you next time when we...
Get connected! Brought to you by Disney Toontown Online.
Rated E for everyone.
Get connected, logging on!
Anyway, here's a more funny commercial that, again, is live action. Again, the quality isn't very good because, again, it was made 20 years ago. But it's funny, and I thought it should be included.
Where was that the provider?
Hey, Mom. Can I throw some pies around?
Sure, dear.
Well, I'm gonna spray everything with a fire hose.
I'm gonna drop some pianos in the street.
Of course, have fun.
Welcome to Toontown, where you create your own tune, have to see the evading cogs, and get to do almost anything. With parents' permission, you can play online now and get a free trial at Toontown.com.
Mom, Tony's shooting himself out of a cannon.
I know, it's okay.
Toontown, rated E for everyone.
Are you tuned enough?
Okay, so here is a commercial that Toontown created on themselves. So it's not really a commercial where it plays on the TV and whatnot, but it is still an ad. And if you look up Toontown, you might get an ad for this. You know, that might be the ad you play. It's basically supposed to be a remastered version of the first commercial that I showed you, but longer and better in every single way, basically. Yeah. There's a longer version of the first commercial I showed you. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a remastered version of that, but it's basically better in basically every way they could possibly be, and it's great. It was made in 2009, almost 20 years after the first one made, so you can definitely see the development the changes in development that went through, and just by seeing the dates 2003 2009, you can already tell there's gonna be a lot of differences in those two there. So.
Ever wondered what it would be like to live life as a Toon? Imagine creating your own animated character, exploring the ever-changing world of Toons, causing classic cartoon mischief. And that's only the beginning. If you're wondering what it's truly like to live life in Toontown, well, here's your chance. Now, it's not all seltzer and slapstick in Toontown. A band of corporate robo-cogs are trying to mess up all of the fun. How typical of someone in a suit. It's up to you and your friends to band together and take back Toontown. How do we defeat them, you say? I'm glad you asked.
So these are some links that I'm not gonna show them all, but when you guys actually look at the slideshow for yourself, you guys can look at all these links. There's all these commercials from Toontown Online and ads from Toontown Rewritten, live action ads. There's 3 from Rewritten and the rest of them are from Toontown Online. So yeah, I'm not gonna show them. You guys can look at them when you actually see the slideshow for yourself. Just take your time. But anyway, so the story. So there's a lot of background lore that goes into Toontown as a whole, really. So there's a timeline swap where this guy named Scrooge McDuck here, Scrooge McDuck and Gyro Gearloose. So Scrooge McDuck and Gyro Gearloose. Scrooge is here. Gyro is here. Sorry. Gyro Gearloose invented the cogs, and Scrooge McDuck activated this giant robot here. So yeah, Gyro invented this giant robot here, the one that you can see in this picture here. And Scrooge McDuck activated it because he wanted more money, and then that robot went on to create more cogs, and so Gyro had to switch timelines, and he became this guy named Dr. Shirley. And he tried to stop Scrooge McDuck from doing what he did. Unfortunately, didn't work, and now we have cogs again. And so, yes, I'm sure all you guys know, Gyro Gearloose and Scrooge McDuck are actual Disney characters, and they play a crucial role in the lore of the game, and Dr. Shirley is Gyro Gearloose, so he's constantly in the game. Dr. Shirley here is an actual character that you can see in the game, and he's actually Gyro Gearloose in disguise. You can see here that, Scrooge McDuck activates a robot, he's not so happy about it, and then he goes on a rampage, creates all the other cogs. There's also classic characters, as I said, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy and whatnot. They roam the town and stuff. However, due to copyright reasons, the current server, the fan-made servers, had to get rid of them. They still exist in the story, but for the most part, they just had to get rid of them to avoid copyright from Disney. But they still do exist in the lore of the game. You just can't see them anywhere, for the most part. And there's 4 cog departments in there, known as Sellbot, Cashbot, Lawbot, and Bossbot. I'll get into that more later on. And there's also one big part of it, which is the chairman. During the old game, Toontown Online, the chairman was probably the biggest mystery in the entire game. He had people had many different ideas of what he could be. He was either like a giant cog with a chair for a head, or a really little cog with a chair for a head, or the giant robot itself, or it could just be a brand new kind of cog, the one on the bottom of this picture here. But one of the servers actually made the chairman kind of less of a mystery, and they used the small body chair head, and kind of made him an actual person in the game that you can't fight him yet, but you can see him in the game. And this is this picture with the sun. As you can see, there's a lot of lore in that specific server. He's with the sun here. This is his brother here, and the chairman. So yeah, the chairman has been a very big mystery through all of Toontown, even in Rewritten itself. Like it's not really touched on as much as a mystery as much in Rewritten, but it's still a very big mystery in Toontown Rewritten and Toontown Online. As again, we've never actually seen the chairman's face. We don't know who he is. We don't know anything about him. We only have hints as to where he could be and stuff like that, but we don't actually know anything about him. And there's a task line in the game that goes over like a lot of different things going on in that town, and again, other servers that have all of their own lore in it. Here's Scrooge McDuck here, activating the robot. Robot activates, and then after this, it goes haywire, creates more cogs. Toontown goes in danger. Yes, he wasn't very happy, as you can see. over here. He wasn't very happy about that. But before I start explaining more about the actual gameplay and stuff, I wanted to give a couple of shoutouts to a few individuals. Jesse Shell, who was the founder of Shell Games and former developer of the original Toontown game. Shawn Patton, who's also a designer at Shell Games and also a former developer of the original Toontown game. Joey Zielkowski. I don't know if I pronounced your last name correctly. I'm sorry if I didn't. It's kind of been a joke a while in the past where it was hard to pronounce his last name, but I actually tried this time, and I apologize if I butchered your last name. He's also a designer for Shell Games and is the creative director of Toontown Rewritten. In case you're wondering, Shell Games down here, the largest full-service education and entertainment game development company in the United States. So they make a lot of educational games for kids. You know, here's Jesse Shell and Shawn Patton answering the web with search questions. You can find that video on YouTube from Toontown Rewritten channel. And here's them at a convention called ToonFest. The ToonFest itself wasn't a convention. It was more of a real-life event at a convention, throwing pies at a cog. And we also have Quackity here, who he's a pretty popular YouTuber around like mainly Minecraft, I think. But he used to be a Toontown YouTuber. He used to make a lot of like different Toontown skits and stuff. They were really funny. But he moved on from that. He still revisits Toontown every now and then. But now he kind of hangs out with like Dream and whatnot, you know. And down bottom right here, we have Among Us VR, because Shell Games is actually working with Innerslot to make Among Us VR. And I just think it's really cool how these two guys here went from Toontown for a game to like Among Us VR, one of the biggest memes, a game with basically the biggest meme game in the whole world. Not in a bad way, but still it's the biggest meme game in the whole world. I'm not sure if Joey has anything to do with it. I'm sure Jesse does, but in terms of Joey, I'm not really sure. But he might have something to do with it. I'm not really sure. But and here's our logo here. Here is Quackity, picture of Quackity. My face cam was blocking it, so yeah, it's Quackity. No, this was his old profile picture before he switched out of Toontown. So, okay, so yes, as I said, ToonFest is a real life event at a convention. The past 2 years or 3 years actually, it was at a convention called ReplayFX, which has unfortunately now closed down due to COVID, and they're not planning on ever reopening again. 2 years before that, it was at a place called OMGCon, but the only one I actually went to was 2019 ReplayFX, the last event that was ever held, because COVID happened after that. So, but here is me with Jesse Shell and Shawn Patton, and I actually met them. I thought it was really cool. Here's a kind of a view of. This is actually only half of the convention. It was on like a bridge that was up in the air, and it was like half the convention. Of course, this is not related to Toontown. I just wanted to show it. Here's a poster that was given out to people who went to the Toontown Rewritten panel at the convention. Here's a picture of me that a friend of the community of mine took. Kind of embarrassing. I was definitely embarrassed of it when it was first shown to me, and even a year after when it was shown to me again. But I thought it deserved to be shown here. Here's me with a friend of mine named Anthony. I'm sure some of you in the community, some of you guys in the community know who Anthony Ranieri is. Picture of me in the ReplayFX sign. I'm not in this picture here. It just shows you how people literally just in a circle table here playing Toontown. That's it. And then the booth here in the background, you know, the staff members will kind of do an activity with us every now and then. Here's like where the main event in the Q&A was, where the big theater, they tell us a lot of stuff about what they're planning for the game. We have a Q&A with the staff team, and all the people who went to the panel can sit in the theater. It's really cool. And here's a picture of me over here of. This is actually in a video I can show you in the next slide, where it's just me leaning on a wall, not looking very happy, mainly because I didn't know there's a picture being taken of me. If I knew there was a picture being taken of me, I would have probably looked a little happier in that picture. But it's not even. It's technically that actually isn't a picture. It's more of me taking a screenshot of a video, because that actually came from a video and I took a screenshot of it. And as you can see, Anthony's is right in front of me there. And again, I'm kind of embarrassed of it because I don't look very happy. If I knew I was getting a picture taken, I would have looked a little happier, but. I mainly looked like that because I was cold. I wasn't wearing my jacket. I forgot it at home, so I was cold. I was waiting for my turn. You know, I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, and this poster here on the bottom left. You see my face cam? I'll make my face cam bigger so you can see it. There it is, right there. That's the poster. I'm pointing at it. Might not be very clear, but it's there. You can see it. And for reason you also can't see the ReplayFX thing, there it is. You stay next to the big ReplayFX sign. Pretty cool. So yeah, there's that. So yes, the video here, if you skip to 040 in the video, you will find me at that exact moment, and I will actually, yeah, and I'll show that to you guys. I won't just have you guys do it, I'll actually show it to you guys here, so.
Welcome officially to ToonFest 2019. We have put in a lot of work this year in order to make sure this is not just the biggest ToonFest yet, but the most fun ToonFest yet. But our main goal for this weekend is for all of you here to bond with each other, to meet other Toontown players, to meet our staff, and really to just have the most fun that you can in Toontown this weekend. More laptops than ever before just dedicated to playing Toontown, submissions for artwork, videos, and comics. The whole day is going to be about celebrating you guys, because you guys are what makes Toontown great.
All right, so now we have, again, more links to see more stuff that Jesse Shell and Shawn Patton did. I'm not gonna actually go over show you all the videos. I'm gonna go over the links here. Developer reunion where Joey met with some developers of the old game. Again, where they're answering the web's most asked questions. I already told you about that. Jesse Shell's card building encounter. He just talks about something that happened to him in the game. Another thing which Shawn Patton also did in the game, and then something that Jesse Shell talks about, what makes Toontown special. You know, I would recommend checking all of these if you like Toontown. So maybe you saw them already. Who knows? Yeah. Anyway, so here is where the plot of Toontown Written began. So the newly elected president of the Toon Council named Slappy was kidnapped by the Cogs, and this was the very first Cog invasion in the Toontown Written game. And the Toons had to fight back the Cogs with pies, and I'll go more into detail with that in the next slide. But this video here just basically shows what exactly happened to Slappy, what happened to the Cog that kidnapped him. I took this video myself. I tried to find one on YouTube that was good quality, but I couldn't. So I just opened up a source code for that had the elections, and I just recorded it. So yeah, the Cogs have been invading ever since this happened, and Toons and Cogs have just been at war ever since.
Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack.
Okay, so now we get to the basic battle mechanics, now that we've gone all that history stuff out of the way. So, when you're fighting cogs, the game uses a turn-based battle system. So, sort of like Wizard 101, right? I'm sure a lot of you have played Wizard 101. Turn-based, you pick an attack, and then you attack the cog, and then if you don't kill the cog attacks you. Toons pick eggs, attack first, and cog attacks right afterward. The Toons health points are called laugh points, pun off of the actual word laugh, L-A-U-G-H, laugh, but this was spelled L-A-A-F, laugh points. If it reaches 0, they die, which in this case is just known as going sad, where they literally get sad and they go back to the playground. So Toons don't die. Toons can't die in this game, so they just go sad. And because business attacks make them sad, they lose their silliness with business attacks, so they go sad. If Toons do enough damage to a cog, the cog explodes. The reason this happens is because cogs don't know what laughter is. So have a pie be thrown in the face, it makes them laugh, but they don't know what laughter is until they short circuit and they explode. So that's quite literally how it works, yeah. In higher level cogs, they have more health and typically do more damage, so you have to use higher level gags on them to take them out more quickly. In normal gameplay, the highest cog level was 12, but if you get into the more advanced stuff, Field Office, I'll get into that later, you can get higher level cogs. And just like all other turn-based combat games, math is important to determine how much damage your team will do and how much remaining health the cog will have left. And memorizing attack combos and health values will definitely make the game a lot easier to play, because there's definitely a lot of different kind of combos that you can do, different kinds of gags that you can use on the same turn to take out a cog in many different ways. If you can memorize those, it'll make it much easier for both you and your teammates, because you can all just take out all the cogs. Hopefully without them attacking you, you might have to take a turn to get attacked, but most of the time, take them all out without getting attacked. Pretty cool. Alright, so this is what a battle looks like. So as you can see, you got the cogs in the front here. They have status effects. You can see what gags the Toons are using. You have this birthday cake being used on the left cog here, and this sound gag that always hit all the cogs. It's the blue one here, blue row here. It's all the cogs. The X's show what cog is being hit, as you know. And this is what the gag menu looks like. There's always going to be one gag track that you don't take, but there's going to be 2 that you start with. So there's going to be 2 that you start with, and then there's going to be, and you can get a bunch of them, and there's going to be 1 gag track that you can't get. That is it. And yeah, you have to kill the cogs. The health formula goes as there is a specific formula for determining the health for any cog that is below level 12, so level 1 to level 11. The formula is that you take the level, add it by 1, and then multiply that by the level plus 2. So if you have a level 10, you have to do 11 times 12, and that is the health that the cog has. Any cog that is level 12 or higher, their health is similar, but it's a little different. And yeah, it's a little different. Basically the same, but you have to add. I think you have to add 14 to it. I can't add 14 to the total. I can't remember. But down here, this is what a kind of a battle looks like on the outside. A row of Toons, a row of cogs, the other side, row of cogs, row of Toons. So I'm in a cog, and this is one of the boss battles where you start off in a turn-based combat, and then in the boss battle, after you defeat all the cogs in the turn-based combat, you actually have to face the boss in a real-time combat. So here in this boss, you have to the four different Toons have to take these magnet cranes here and grab these little goons on the ground and throw it at the boss. If you do enough damage to the boss, he will get stunned, he will get dizzy, and you can pick up these saves and throw it at him. Do more damage. And once you do 500 total damage to him, he's defeated. So it's not all turn-based. Unlike Wizard 101, where basically all the combat in the game is turn-based, this actually has a mix of it. Most of it is still turn-based, but boss battles, they do have some more mix to it, so it's cool. Okay, so yeah, no text in this picture, as you can see. So this is just some stuff that's in the game. This is the boss of the so we have Sellbots here, Cashbots here, Lawbots here, Bossbots here. Each have 8 different cogs, and then 9th cog being the boss. Here's the Sellbot, his name is the VP, Vice President. Here's the Cashbot boss, his name is the Chief Financial Officer, CFO. The Lawbot boss down here, Chief Justice, CJ. And over here, the CEO, Chief Executive Officer. And right here is another look for the chairman in another server, who is the head of a brand new department called BoardBots. They're kind of like the board of directors, He doesn't have a boss battle yet, but you can see him in the game, and I thought it would be important to include because he is still a department head. Here's Flippy, the new president of the Toon Council. He was the one that lost the election, but since he was the next runner-up after the the elected president got kidnapped. He was the one that took the mantle of it. So we have all the emblems here: bossbots, lawbots, cashbots, sellbots. That's what the emblems are. And here's just the tunes in the game. And this is just all the damage values for all the gigs that you have. So so some of them work a little differently where they don't do damage, instead they add a status effect, but you can all see here, this one does 7, this one does 18 damage, this one does 132 to all cogs. And the sun ones here, again, they hit all the cogs, so this is how much damage it does to all the cogs. And these damage values are actually the boosted damage values if you put a boost on the gags, but for the most part, if you don't know much about the game, this will do for now, Here's the CFO. I keep having to cut away and then move my camera. There's the CFO because I keep forgetting my face cam is blocking. I want you guys to be able to see my face. CFO, Flippy, he literally just has a cash register for a head. It's kind of funny when I first saw him. But yeah, there's the CFO. So now we have here the biggest expansion to Toontown ever, pretty much, where Toontown Rewritten expanded the task line completely and added these things called field offices. So field offices were something that was in the old game. It was the last major update for the old game, Toontown Online, was where they added these things called field offices. It looked like this. A lot of players did not like them, and they were kind of a disappointment because they didn't really add much gameplay at all. The reward was really bad. They had no reason to do them. There were no tasks that told you to defeat them and stuff like that. And so people didn't like them. It was the last major update of the game, and the devs kind of just gave up on it and went over to Club Penguin after that. But about half a year ago, December of 2021, we'll say that, Toontown Rewritten completely expanded the task line and completely overhauled these field offices to make them look like this. You see all the tunes around it and this huge towering field office in the middle. And many different kinds of cogs in there. You have 2 mini games that are all real-time combat, like this one up here where it's a maze and you have to destroy those big cogs right here. And another one, an ice game where the tunes are skating around and they have to try to make the room warm before the time runs out. And then at the very end, there's a turn-based boss, the very first turn-based boss in Toontown, called the Boiler. Here's the intro animation for him down here. When you first meet him, this is the animation that he does, the cutscene that plays. And you have to defeat him in a turn-based manner, not real-time combat like I showed you before, but turn-based. And you have other cogs listing in here. And here are the icons for field office, the icon for the update. And here's the Sellbot Task Force. The Sellbot Task Force is basically the name of the expansion because they expanded the task line for this. The task line, ever since the original game closed, the task line had never been touched upon at all in terms of Toontown. Well, I guess they might have changed the difficulty of it, but in terms of actually adding more stuff to it, they didn't do any of that. Rewritten hadn't done any of that until Sellbot Task Force came out, where they expanded the task line beyond the end of it, so you could do these field offices after getting to the end of it, and it would give you more toon tasks to do that involve these field offices here. And here is the very end of the Sellbot Task Force. You get into the special area where the cogs took over one of the playgrounds, and you have to try to defeat this field office so you can take back the playground. It's really cool. Here's the Sellbot Task Force hideout, where you can get a bunch of different tunes that give you toon tasks to take on field offices. I haven't actually been here in the game yet because I've been focusing on other things, but I do plan on getting there eventually. I haven't seen many spoilers, and I don't plan to. I've seen a couple, but I don't plan on seeing many. I want to see most of it for myself. But this GIF here is kind of a meme in the community. Not much, but it's a bit of a meme. They post it around sometimes, and that would be pretty cool to have there. Okay, so this update came with a very amazing soundtrack. And these 5 here are my personal favorites. I like almost all of them, but these 5 are my personal favorites that I wanted to put in here, and there's a lot of them I like. If you want to see all of them, you can just go to the Toontown Rewritten YouTube channel, and you can find all the music tracks there. But and I will play like a sneak peek for all the musics for you guys right now. So I really like them, and I hope you guys like them too. If you don't like them, that's fine, but I hope you guys like them. and spoiler, the next one that's gonna play down here, it's as I showed before, it's this area here, but you don't actually get access to that place until the very end of the task line, so it could be considered spoilers. If we don't want to hear it, just skip this part of the video. Yeah. And when the update first came out, for about a month or so, when you opened up the game, this promotional cutscene would play that basically just really quickly goes over all the cool stuff that you can do in a field office. And there's no voiceover; it's all just music and visuals. But every time I see it, it just gives me goosebumps. I love it so much, and I really think you guys should see it too. Even if you're new to Toontown, still this is a pretty cool trailer. And if you haven't played Rabbuit in a long time, and you didn't know about this, this is a great way to just get introduced to it real quick. I like it. Okay, so another big factor with Toontown is nostalgia. So we have it's a childhood game, a lot of memories in it, a lot of freedom in this game. You're not free to do anything you want, like hack and stuff, but there is still a lot of freedom that it gives in an open world game, stuff like that. Simple, and the gameplay is simple. A little kid would be able to figure things out given enough time. And it's asking the same question: why do people still care about Club Penguin a lot? I'm using Club Penguin because a lot more people know what Club Penguin is and what Toontown is, even though Disney worked on both of them. Why do people still care about Club Penguin? Nostalgia. They keep it alive. There's many different servers out there that Disney actually sent DMCAs to a lot of the servers, the Club Penguin servers, shut them all down, but they keep coming back anyway because they love the game so much. Toontown was lucky enough to not have to deal with any of those DMCAs, but even with the legal risks of running a Club Penguin server, people just keep coming back and running more Club Penguin servers because they love the game so much with all the nostalgia, and it's great. And I agree with that. Nostalgia is great. I sometimes revisit Club Penguin, the servers on Club Penguin sometimes, and I do feel a bit of nostalgia. Not as much on Toontown, but I can understand why people feel that way. They both shut down many years ago, but fans just keep bringing them back. And even though Disney wants to shut down Club Penguin for good, with many different attempts to shut it down, people just keep coming back. There's a lot of drama with a server known as Club Penguin Rewritten, where 3 people were actually arrested. And another one called Club Penguin Online, where the staff had done a lot of questionable things that I really shouldn't mention here. But yeah, nostalgia, play hopscotch when you're 20 years old and haven't played hopscotch since you were 5. Maybe some nostalgia there. Or maybe this person here, you're thinking about all the stuff you did as a little kid. Maybe you're not actually doing this stuff, but you're thinking of it, and you get a little shock of nostalgia. It happens to me sometimes. Sometimes I play a Roblox game that I haven't played in a long time, and I'm like, wow, this is nostalgic. Anyway, so it is more than just, but it is more than just a game. As I said, nostalgia, but it's more than just a game and nostalgia and stuff. I guess I posted the picture up here already, but there's a lot of friends that go along that I made in this game with socializing. As I said, I'm a completely different person when I play this game. And I'm not trying to say that the friends I know in real life aren't good enough for me, but these friends that I met in Toontown are also very great. I'm very glad to have them. Community, St. Jude St. Jude helps out children that have very, very bad illnesses that need, and they run a charity to give them money to help heal. And this guy named Smirky Bumper Pop, or her real name Michael, he's a Twitch and TTR partner. He has raised over $50,000 just playing Toontown to raise money for St. Jude and save all of those children's lives. It's amazing. And another charity called ToonFest for Charity raised over $2,000 in just one weekend, doing for the same cause, the same exact cause. It is great. That's $50,000 from a game like Toontown. That really shows what the community can do if we're all working together on it. The game is essentially my livelihood now, because I played the game since I was about 5. My siblings introduced it to me, and I've been playing it ever since. I was sad when the original game shut down. I was very glad when the new one came out. I've been playing it ever since, and it's really changed who I am, and it's really, it's who I am now is probably, I wouldn't be who I am now without Toontown, as I said before. A lot of me has been shaped by it. Taught me a lot of life lessons. It made me a better person overall, and I will forever be grateful for Toontown in general for doing that for me. It reminds me of my family because, again, my siblings showed me the game, and then once the old game shut down, they kind of stopped playing it. My brother played with me for a little bit on Rewritten, but after like a year or so, he stopped as well. So I took over his account, and now it's just me, and it still reminds me of all the good times that I had with my siblings playing the game. It reminds me of my family, and my family still knows what Toontown is, but they're kind of not in the loop of it anymore, but they still know what Toontown is. When I say Toontown, they know. They're not going to ask me, oh, what's Toontown now? They know what it is, but it just reminds me of all the good times I had. It is alongside me. As I said, Toontown and I are the same age. It came out 3 months before I did, and we are both 19 years old. Toontown Rewritten is 9 years old, 10 years younger than me. And again, Toontown Rewritten was created in September 19th, which is just 4 days before my birthday, and they have a celebration, and I like to make that a cool birthday present for myself. Inspires me to do many different things. I became a moderator for another server. It inspired me to just be a better person, become a moderator for another server, because I really appreciate what Toontown has done for me, and I want to try to kind of prove that in a sense by actually giving it to the Toontown community. And I got banned from the game. I've been terminated from the game twice now. One time that was kind of iffy. I'm kind of on the fence of it. But the last time I got banned, I got permanently banned. I was not allowed to log into the game. I got completely IP banned. They would ban me if I tried to log into the game on another account. And it really made me rethink my life lessons. If you don't know what I did, basically I found a glitch that allowed me to crash the servers, and I took advantage of it. And when I got banned, as you all know, I made a video of it. I was devastated for the 1.5 years that I was banned, and it really made me contemplate a lot of my life choices with all my fault. I have no one else to blame. I did this. I got cocky, and I just took advantage of it, and I tried to pretend I wasn't the one to blame. And honestly, I now do agree that I was the one at fault there, and it definitely helps me out there. And yeah, don't know down here, it is quite toxic in the community, but I tried to just brush that off. I don't like to focus on it. And but moving back to my ban, my father passed away last year in March, and he was probably the last person that the last person I knew in real life that truly supported me when it came to Toontown. He took me to ToonFest 2019 and made me feel better about playing Toontown. Felt like I had a lot of support, and I like to become a better person. Hopefully that wherever he is now, he is proud of me for doing that. And I managed to get unbanned from the game. I got banned when he was still alive, and then I got unbanned almost a year after he had already been gone. But now I'm hoping that I've changed so much that I'm hoping that wherever he is now, he is proud of me, and I can be glad about that. And he's watching over us, and it just makes my whole family happy to just think about that he's up there somewhere, happy, watching over us, making sure that we're all okay, and it reassures me. It really does. Okay, make sure, okay, didn't skip a slide. So Cartoonival, as I said, there's a celebration on September 19th, an in-game event to celebrate Toontown Ruin's birthday, and remember the day Toontown Online closed, which again was September 19th, 4 days after my birthday. So when Toontown Online closed, yeah, that was 4 days after my birthday. I wasn't happy. My birthday was after that. Honestly, it was so long ago, I don't remember it very much, but I'm sure I wasn't very happy. Turns 9 this year. This year is 2022. Turns 9 this year. Well, it turned at 9 this year, I guess. This is after the 19th, so. You earn tokens to buy exclusive items and boosters. The event lasts for an entire month, so until October 20th, sorry. Hang out with friends, meet new people. You know, people kind of lose interest in it by the time October comes, but you can still have the whole month to meet new people and stuff like that, and do stuff with the tokens you have. The tokens you have up here. So here's a token bag here. Is a wallpaper that Toontown Written made. The Toontown Written artist made. I think it's great. It's incredible. These are some in-game photos of it. So yes, again, Toontown in general and I are the same age. June 2nd. It's 3 months older than me, but in general, yes, we are the same age. We are both 19. In 2 years, we'll both be 21. And that'll be really cool. You know, Toontown and I just age alongside. I just like to think about that a lot. Toontown and I age alongside each other constantly. And that is something I share in common with it, and I love to cherish it all the time. Especially with all the other things that it's given to me, all the changes in life I've had. The fact that not only has it given me a lot of different life lessons, but it also has changed me. And we also share the same birthday. Well, are the same age. It just, I don't know. It just makes me feel really, really good thinking about it. But moving on from that, so there are other servers in the game, as I mentioned many different times. The second most popular server is called Corporate Clash. Lots of new different features and a complete reimagination of the same game, but it's the same game, but complete reimagination of it. The plot is basically the same. The gameplay itself is kind of the same, but there's a lot of different changes to the gameplay and how the game looks, and the lore is very different. The lore is very different from Rewritten to the point where there's actually many different characters that actually have a lot more background that actually have a lot of background. For one, there's a cog named Atticus Wing, who is actually a play off of Atticus Finch from the book To Kill a Mockingbird. And if you went to 8th grade with me, if anyone who knows me in real life, if you went to 8th grade with me, we read that book in 8th grade. And so I don't blame you if you choose to suppress that memory of 8th grade English. Not a lot of people were happy in that class. But I'm just mentioning it. But I think it's pretty cool. But in a nutshell, basically this cog, Atticus Wing, he was the first cog to actually die. In that server, cogs don't actually die. You can destroy them, but they come back to life later on. This cog actually died. And he had so much life insurance he has so much life insurance to give to his son that 17 different life insurance companies crumbled just to pay out the policy, that all those other companies now had to reform to something else. And some of the employees that were of those companies actually went to work for Cogs Inc. So that's pretty funny. 17 insurance companies all crumbled just to pay for the policy of this guy's death and give it to his son. This is really funny. But yeah. The Tooniversal Studios here. That's the one I moderate. There's fewer changes in the game. It's more similar to the original game, but it's still different in its own way. And I'm the moderator for that game. I haven't done much on it recently, but I do plan on getting back into the swing of things and really trying to see getting back into it all. Another server they call Toontown Realms, which is formerly known as Toontown Offline. They recently rebranded just a couple weeks ago to Toontown Realms. Basically, as it is what it is, Toontown Offline. Sort of like Minecraft Realms, where you can have your own server, public server that people can join, or you can just play offline, Toontown Offline, you know. Made a joke where Minecraft would sue them for using the word realms. I was just joking. Custom changes, mainly for a lot of memes. They have a cog that's literally just a hot tub with a duck bill called the duckback or the duck tub. You know, memes. Yeah, again, play offline or join a mini server, and you can use commands to customize your experience. And not only can you just use the commands to just have fun in the game, but you can also actually place props around and make your own playground using all those props. It's pretty cool. another server called Toontown Archive, which is a revival of the old game before it closed down in 2013. Basically, it just takes the code that it was before it closed down and it just makes it so people can play on it. Except I'm pretty sure the only available servers right now are the ones when the game first came out in 2003 and like another one in 2005 maybe. So yeah, none of the newer editions are there yet, but I'm pretty sure they're working up to the point where eventually, yeah, you will actually be able to play Toontown as it was right before it closed down, which is pretty cool. Different years to choose from, and many more. There's many different ones that most of the time they don't really get any recognition at all. There's some even out there that like people probably have never even heard of, and they don't last very long at all. They try to succeed, they don't, they shut down, they try again with another server, they fail, they shut down, try again, they fail. It's a loop, you know. It's a complete loop, and it gets to the point where like whenever a new server comes out, people are like, it's not gonna work. Whenever a new server comes out, any other people who learn about it are probably gonna say it's not gonna work, right? Like at this point, any of the servers that are currently active, they're probably going to stay active until they shut down. But any new servers that are going to try to come up, they're probably not going to be able to. All the people have just failed too many times that it's inevitable that it's just going to shut down before it even gets a chance to live. Looking at you, Event Horizon. I'm kidding. And yeah, and servers they don't always agree with each other. They don't. But just like politics. The two sides, they don't get along. Like Realms or Toontown Offline clash, they hate each other. They do not like each other. Toontown Realms is trying to get rid of the past and trying to have better relations with them. But so far, Corporate Clash, they're still not doing so well with them right now. But hopefully things will change. And Universal Studios has had its fair share of drama too. People don't really like that. Not many people like that server either because of it, but again, always two sides to it. It's politics. It's always so annoying to think about. Too much toxicity. I just like to play the games. Yeah, sorry. So yes, this is Universal Studios. This is Corporate Clash. 2 C's. Corporate Clash. All right. So I had to mention this. I had to. All right. So MeepCity. MeepCity is a role-playing game on Roblox that uses a lot of Toontown's assets. Well, actually, they got rid of some of it, but I'm pretty sure it still uses a few of them. It is one of the most popular games on Roblox. It was the first game on Roblox to reach 1 billion players, billion visits. Billion times people visit it. It was made by a former Toontown developer, so you can understand that, But it reused a lot of Toontown assets, and But Toontown came first, and MeepCity used its assets. Puts its part down here. I'm looking at you, Dream. Yeah, because Dream, the Minecraft speedrunner, he actually streamed himself playing Toontown one day, and a lot of people in the chat were actually saying that it looks like MeepCity. And me and my friends on the Toontown community weren't too pleased with those comments because of the fact that it's almost as if they're implying that Toontown took MeepCity's assets, even though there's no way to confirm that's what they're implying. That's kind of what it sounded like to me, at least. That I want to make it clear that Toontown came first, and then MeepCity came afterward and used its assets. That's why Toontown looks like MeepCity, because MeepCity took Toontown's stuff. And in case you're wondering, yes, the creator of the game, Alex Neutron, he does earn money from playing this game. He has confirmed that he does earn money. He hasn't said how much money, but he has confirmed that he does earn a significant amount of money from it. Despite the fact that there's a lot of drama when it comes to earning money on Toontown servers, this guy, Alex Neutron, he has no problem with it. This does not have a problem with it. And some Club Penguin servers, like again, Club Penguin Rewritten, had a lot of ads running on their site that I think that might have been one of the reasons why Disney shut it down, because they were earning money from it. I heard that they were earning so much money that it wasn't just just enough money to just be able to live and stuff. They actually were pocketing some of the money. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It wasn't just enough money for them to pay the servers. They were actually pocketing some of the money for them to use for their personal self. So yes, Club Penguin Written actually was earning money from the ads that they were doing. That it just makes sense that Disney shut them down when they did. Not to say that it's possible that they still would have shut down without the ads, but it probably would have taken longer. Who knows? But yeah, so MeepCity, they have it. MeepCity. Yep. So you can kind of see the tunnels here. If you play Toontown, then you definitely be able to tell. But yeah, the tunnels here. The animation with fishing copied right from Toontown. The tunnels used to be copied right from Toontown, then he revamped it a little bit to make it look a little different. But, so yeah. such a thing in the community. But okay. Classic. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? It's a film from 1988. So it's a movie made by Disney, and they worked together with Warner Bros. For it. Or maybe I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's the Warner Bros. And they worked together with Disney, or if Disney made the movie and they worked together with Warner. I can't remember. But Toons and humans live together in harmony. And yeah, literally, quite literally, there's like you have humans and stuff, and you have Toons roaming around in the real world. They actually managed to make that work in 1988 with real people in the real world, and then cartoonish Toons in the real world roaming around next to the humans. They have this weird contrast where Toons can't die unless you give them unless you give them the substance called dip, which does kill a Toon. But other than that, a Toon can't feel pain, they can't die, and if they're pretty much unstoppable, but a Toon might not be able to feel pain, but something that a Toon likes, like dropping pianos on people, that can kill a person instantly. But for a Toon, that's nothing. So yes, in the movie, Toons and humans live in harmony. And Roger Rabbit, who is a Toon, is accused of murder, and so a human named Detective Eddie Valiant has to help clear his name. Eddie does not like Toons, okay? They explain it in the movie, I don't want to tell you why, but they explain in the movie why he doesn't like Toons, and he has to help clear this rabbit of murdering someone. help clear this rabbit's name of murdering someone. So he has to go to Toontown to find evidence, and when he goes to Toontown, you find these many different cartoon characters. You see Bugs Bunny, you see Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny in the same scene. You ever want to see them in the same scene? Well, there you go. Watch that movie, you get to see them in the same scene. Eddie falls off the building, and you see Mickey and Bugs Bunny skydiving in the same scene. Apparently, they actually wanted to, Warner Bros. And Disney said they would only allow these characters to be in the movie if they both had the same amount of screen time, because Bugs Bunny and Mickey, they're kind of like the iconic characters of the respective company, right? So they would only allow them to be in the movie if they shared the same screen time. So they're like, let's just put them in the same scene and then forget about them. That works. So yes, many Disney and Warner Bros. characters are featured and interact with one another. You have Daffy and Donald playing piano together, kind of fighting each other to see who can play the piano better, and the humans in the background are laughing at them. And other characters that I can't remember, but yeah, other characters that I can't quite remember at the top of my head. I know that Tweety, I think Sylvester. I don't think Tom and Jerry appear. Maybe, but I know Tweety and Sylvester do. Maybe the Tasmanian Devil. And so yeah, I would if you like Warner Bros. And Disney characters, and you're interested in the concept of Toons being with humans, I recommend watching this movie. Again, it was made in 1988, so a lot of Disney and Warner Bros. Property that came out after that, of course, aren't in this movie because they were made after the movie came out, so they can't be in the movie. I think there have been rumors of them making another one. This movie was made 25. Wait, hold on. 3 years ago? Wait. I'm trying to do the math in my head. About 35 years ago, this movie was made. So I'm not sure if the actor for Eddie is actually. I think the actor for Eddie is still alive, but whether or not they would recast him or not, I have no idea. Or even if they are making a new movie at all, honestly, I don't know. But I thought this movie deserved an honorable mention. There's Eddie, Roger Rabbit, and Roger Rabbit's girlfriend on a car there. Not much to say about that. Going to not much to say about that really. Yeah, just them driving to Toontown on their, I guess their sentient car. I guess I would say. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, these are my Toons in the game. You have Jake Cheesy Marble. This is Maybe I should say this. So when I was finally able to get my accounts back, my main Toon here, Jake Cheesy Marble, I was not able to get him back, but I was able to get these two accounts back, Clyde Cheesy Wig and Super Gyro Bumble Speed. I was able to get them back, but my main account, Jake, he's gone, and it's been a meme where it's like post this rat. He's a mouse, but people call him a rat just to be funny. It's like a joke going on, and this is another picture of him. But I made another one using another account. Another Jake Cheesy Marble. This is him with his pet doodle. Doodles are like dogs in the game. They run around in a little estate they have. It's really fun. And right here is his panel. This is the original Jake's Toon panel of this is what it looks like when you view a Toon's info, like the gags they have and when they were last online. This was taken at the exact 2-year mark of when he was banned. So can't remember. It was like January. I can't remember. Wait, it wasn't. It was sorry. It wasn't January. It was May. I think it was May. It wasn't January. What am I saying? It wasn't January. It was in May. Sometime in May was when he got banned, and then this picture was taken in the 2-year mark of him being banned. This is my Discord profile picture. Somebody named Wacko made it for me using a template, and I've been using it as my profile picture ever since. I really like it. And this is another profile picture that I use for a website called ToonHQ, which you can use to make groups in the game. And this is just my YouTube profile picture. You guys can all see it there. You guys already saw my YouTube channel, but you couldn't see it because of my face cam. There he is. Big Cheesy Marble. This is a very old picture of my old Jake Toon. This is a more modern picture of him before he got banned, but this is when I took the picture, and I still like it. I think it's pretty cool. Might be okay. And here's more links that you guys can see. Other videos or sites that you should see. Of course, we have the that I think would be worth visiting. You have the Toontown Written website, Toontown Written YouTube channel, the Sellbot Task Force, the Last Laugh trailer. So it's basically the trailer for when they made the final expansion to the Sellbot Task Force after a couple of months after the original expansion was made. We had the Sellbot Task Force launch trailer, which is when the Sellbot Task Force first came out. Catastrophe and Kaboombird was supposed to be like a teaser for the Sellbot Task Force before it actually came out. Toontown Written story made by a YouTuber called Loopy Goopy G. Explains the lore of Toontown Written and Toontown Online, how they connect with each other as of 3 years ago. So that works too. And Anthony Ranieri made a video called the Toontown Iceberg Explain. Like all iceberg videos, it just explains the iceberg that is in Toontown. He's thinking about making another one. It was a pretty successful video. Even has over 100,000 views now for a Toontown video. It's pretty good. He has to think about making another one that it goes over different topics. And that is it. Thank you very much for tuning in, watching this hour-long presentation. Wow, I didn't think it would be that long. It didn't feel like that long when I was doing it, but we have doodles here. Flippy's doodle called Fluffy. We have the classic characters here. We have Toontown logo here, and we have Racing Bunny. And here's the chair. So in the server called Corporate Class, the chairman has a brother. His name is Thomas Sags, but the community has given him a nickname called Ottoman. Very fun. And we have Flippy here holding a pie. And one last question before I leave. Are you Toon enough? It is a question that goes around all of Toontown community. Are you Toon enough? And if you are, then you're a Toon. Probably the most important question in all of Toontown. But yes, so thank you very much for watching this video. I'll make sure to put thank you very much for watching this, spending all this time going through the whole presentation. I spent a lot of time making this and also expanding it after I had originally presented it. And I have never been more proud of the school assignment. It was great. I was so happy to make this. And I'm glad to be able to share it with all you guys and be able to share it with my real life friends and reveal to them that I have a channel. I mean, I'm just really glad I was able to do it. This presentation will always have a place in my heart. So will Toontown. Always will have a place in my heart. And I'm glad everyone was able to support me through this project and and it really felt like I made the good choice in doing this. The presentation when I did it at school was a lot shorter than this, but since this is a video, you guys can pause and come back to it when you want. So I wasn't as concerned with the time. Really, there also with if you get rid of the videos that I featured in the slideshow too, that would actually cut it to under an hour. But yeah, that's just how long. But the videos are important, So again, thank you very much for watching this. I had a lot of fun making it and presenting it to my English class and presenting it to you guys. I was very glad to be able to do this with this new microphone setup. Now, I hope you all have a really good day. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you all decide to share this video around, share the presentation around, and look at the presentation when I share the link and stuff. I would really like for this video to be shared around. I spent a lot of time in it, put a lot of effort into it. I would love for as many people as possible to see it, even if they don't know what Toontown is. All right, just show it to them, whatever. And talk to my real life friends too. If you know someone that went to school with us, share it with them. Senior presentation, maybe the current senior class this year can use this as an inspiration. It doesn't have to be this long. Of course, it was an hour long. It shouldn't be that long. Senior presentation doing that in English class shouldn't be that long. When I did it was only like 25 minutes long. I made it longer because it's a video now, but this can be inspiration. Of course, don't try to make it this long, because when you're trying to stand up for an hour to the class, okay, our classes are only an hour long, okay, so please don't let the presentation be that long. But since this is a video, you know, you guys can pause it and look around as you wish. So, and also just look at the slides yourself. So, please, if the future senior classes are looking at this using it as inspiration, my one advice would be to not make it this long, because this is a video that I'm just showing it to my YouTube channel, not for, this is no longer for a class assignment. This is now just a personal presentation that I wanted to make. For a class assignment, I would recommend trying to make it like half this long, maybe even less than that, okay? Like a lot of students in my class only were like 15 minutes, okay? I did 25. So, can use it as inspiration, but please don't make it this long. But thank you so much for watching again, and I really appreciate all of you, and put a lot of effort into it. But I will see you all later on. Thank you all so much. Real life friends, Toontown friends, everyone. Goodbye. And again, if you want to see this presentation for yourself, I said this multiple times already, but just if you want to see this presentation again for yourself, link will be in the description. I'm sure someone else will also share it around, but so you can look at it for yourself if you want to.